Okay, full disclosure, not a YouTuber. I want to do this review, so I'm giving it my best, but if the quality isn't quite there, then you know why. So, with that out of the way, let's take a peek at the Tamagotchi Smart. I have some thoughts and I have some opinions on this little device, so without any further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah, get into it!
Okay, so here we are with a close-up. So we're going to talk about the physical Tamagotchi itself first, and then we'll get into the actual features of what the Tamagotchi offers. So first I want to talk about the good stuff that I'm really enjoying with this Tamagotchi. First off is the size. This is the smallest color Tamagotchi that Bandai has ever put out. Just for a comparison, we have the latest release from the US, the Tamagotchi Pix. And if we just put them up side to side, you can see that the Smart is very small. So it is just much easier to travel with a Tamagotchi this size, for sure. So another feature that I'm enjoying is the fact that it is rechargeable. So if we take a peek over here, that is where we can plug in the Tamagotchi when it needs to be charged. No more fussing with batteries or screwdrivers. And now we're going to get into some of the physical features that I'm not quite a fan of. So I'll try to insert pictures of what I'm talking about here, but yeah, we're already, within a week, people have seen yellowing of the material that the shell and the ports are made of. I'm seeing that already as well, unfortunately, even though I've kept it in a case the entire time, except for when I'm charging. I've charged it, I'd say 5 times maybe, and I'm already seeing that yellowing too. And it can also stain from fabrics I've seen, which, if you want to have this in a case, if you have the white one, you're going to want to probably stick with a white material, so you're a little bit limited there. Next is, it's unfortunately fragile. Again, I'll put pictures, if I can, of the things I'm talking about. If not, I'm sorry, but you'll hear about it. Somebody dropped theirs, I believe from their dresser, not up very high, and it would not turn on. They had to leave it, try plugging it in, and then eventually after a day they were able to get it to turn back on. And that leads me to quality issues, which is another concern. So somebody who didn't drop their Tamagotchi at all has had a line of dead pixels show up on the screen. They said they didn't drop, they didn't jar it, or nothing happened, and it just showed up. And that's, I believe, within a week. So there's some quality issues for sure. Somebody else had theirs arrive unable to charge, and therefore they were unable to use the Tamagotchi. So hopefully that person is able to exchange and get one that is functioning. The next thing I've noticed in concern of quality, and you'll hear it throughout the video, is the sound quality. So the speaker on this, it doesn't seem the greatest. But that's something to listen to throughout the video. Next is the button in the middle. So this is actually the only functioning button on the device, and it is a little loose in here. So when you shake the device, and you might be doing that because it does have a pedometer, you can hear the button. And I know it's the button because when I hold it, just lightly, not even to turn it on, you don't hear anything. So, just another thing I've noticed. And then my last concern is the backlight. So, I find it quite bright. I always have my Tamagotchis on the lowest brightness, which I'm gonna show you that it is. So you can see there I have it at the lowest, and it is quite bright. I'm gonna insert some footage comparing it to the pics, and because I'm shooting with a ring light right now, you're not gonna see, but the light shines through the shell here, the top, and kind of through the back as well. And you will see that in footage in a darker room that I'm going to insert. Or maybe I already did insert it and I'm talking over it now. I don't know. So I couldn't figure that out, so you got a voiceover. But you can see here the light is coming through the shell on the Smart, unfortunately, and with them both at the lowest brightness, the Smart is quite a bit brighter. Okay, so let's talk features. Turn back on. Now let's start off with the good stuff. So first is the characters. The characters on this Tamagotchi are absolutely adorable. This is Weepchi. I am obsessed with him. He is just perfect. So that's something I'm really loving, is the characters. Next is the touchscreen. So you will have your issues with this even when you do get used to it, or at least that's my experience. The screen is split into 4 quadrants, so you can't swipe through the middle in either direction. But once you get used to it, you really shouldn't have too many issues. You will accidentally select something, or it'll not register when you're tapping something, but it's a learning curve, as with any change to a device like that. And then let's talk sound design. So, unfortunately the speaker is not the greatest, but the sound design in this Tamagotchi I think is my favorite. It just sounds great. Let's try to play with an item so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. You know what? Who doesn't love UFOs? So yeah, that's a bit of the sound design. You can tell it's different from the previous versions. It just, I don't know, it has like a little jingle to it or something. I really like it. Unfortunately, the speakers don't do it the most justice, but the sound design is really fantastic. So another feature I'm loving is close-up animation and being able to pet the Tamagotchi. So you can pet the Tamagotchi with the first option there. Hard to film because I have to touch the screen, I apologize. But very cute. And then we have the always welcome feature of the Babysitter. Well, I'm calling it the Babysitter, but actually in this one, your Tama is going to take care of themselves, or hold the fort down themselves. So I'm going to say yes. And there we are. So, always great when you're a little busy and you don't want your Tamagotchi to die. And it's cute. They hold down the fort themselves, just kind of hang out. I really enjoy that. And we can come back home. So next, I want to take a peek at the app. So in here, we can find food, items, accessories, dating, and taking pictures. I really love that the items in here change daily, so that's something to look forward to. These items are from the small card I used, the 1996 Friends, so oops. So those won't be changing, but the items on the next 2 pages, you'll see those change every day. Same with the food and snacks, accessories, so that's something to look forward to each day. And another feature I'm really liking, if we take a peek under the settings, the second option here, we can see past generations we raised, but what I really love is Tamatomo. So after 72 hours of keeping a Tamagotchi and keeping them bonded and happy with you, you will get a Tamatomo. And you can get one for each adult in this device. And then the smart card, which I briefly touched on, is something you'll plug in over here. And these are add-ons. So with this one, it came with the 1996 Friends smart card, and that has a lot of vintage theme stuff. Right now my background is from that card. So it adds new wallpaper, you can get new clock faces, you can get new characters, new items, new accessories, so it's a really fun way to expand upon this Tamagotchi. Let's go back to the app. So back in the app, we can take a picture of our Tamagotchi. So this is our photo album, and this is where we can actually take a picture. So there's my Tamagotchi. And to change the background in this section, you just scroll through. Sorry if this Tam is hard to capture, it is very bright. I'm just gonna show you all the options. Let's do the hearts. And then next we're gonna be able to choose facial expression. Weep cheese, always sad, so we're gonna stick with that. Perfect. He's on brand. Don't be sad for him. And then these are little details. I believe they're stickers. Oh, that's ironic. I love that. And that is taking a picture. And it's just saying that the picture's been taken and you can view it in the album, which we will go do. So, oh, and we're in the album. There he is, my happy boy. And then last for features that I'm enjoying, as soon as your Tamagotchi turns into an adult, you can date and move on to the next generation immediately. So I won't be doing it, but this is the dating app. And in here you'll see 4 different Tamagotchis, and you can read about each one of them and choose to go on a date with them. After you go on a date with them, your Tamagotchi will ask if they can get married, and if you say yes, you're moving on to the next generation and getting a new egg. I still need to get Weep Cheese Tamatomo, so I'm not doing that. And that covers it for all the features that I'm enjoying. So now let's get into the features or things that I'm not quite enjoying as much. So first thing first, I have to get the elephant out of the room. I definitely meant address the elephant in the room. Anyways, this is a watered down Tamagotchi. I would say it probably has the least features of any color Tamagotchi that I've ever played with. I've only missed a few of the color variations, so the plus color, the ID, the For You Plus. I think everything in between I've played since, so this is definitely lacking in that respect. I mean, just your Tamagotchi standing here in the corner all day. I don't think that's a creative decision. I think it's really because of limitations. This is a smaller Tamagotchi, the smallest one they've ever done in color. And with that, I think, come limitations, and that is one of them. And next, so one of the main features of this Tamagotchi is the step counter, which is only integrated into the clock area. You can see the steps right here, and it's not even integrated into every clock. So if I take a look at some other clocks, you'll see we don't see any steps here. So I'm gonna go back to the one that I had it on. So yeah, you can see your steps here, but it doesn't seem to have any impact on gameplay whatsoever or be integrated into the device past just literally showing up here.
You did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
I do like the app feature here, so we're gonna scroll up to it. I like the app feature, but with this app, we can only order our food or order our items. We cannot go to Tamadepa, it is not in this device, and we can't go to the restaurant. That's also not in this device, so both of those things have been cut from this Tamagotchi, unfortunately. And on that note, it kind of feels like your Tamagotchi's trapped at home. The only times that you can leave are when you go into the backyard. And here, I've only had nothing happen, or I've had a Tamagotchi come and give mine a present. So pretty limited there as well. And the only other way your Tamagotchi can leave, besides, I guess, getting married, which is just a quick animation, then it's done, is going out to the park. And I will point out too, while we're at it, that the animations do seem a little stiffer on this one. We aren't seeing a lot of movement or dimension in the background. Same goes for the wallpaper. They seem limited because the device is smaller. That'd be my guess. Okay, we're getting towards the end here, I promise. Next thing I want to talk about is I feel like this one has a little bit more of a language barrier compared to past models. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So one of the things we can do here is every day we can go ahead and talk to this weird robot guy.
With Detox's talking trash receptacle. Hi, Detox! Aww.
And he is supposed to apparently tell you about the day, maybe what's going on at the park or events, stuff like that. And unfortunately, those of us that don't speak Japanese aren't going to really be able to take advantage of that feature. And as well, your Tamagotchi will ask you things throughout the day. Maybe it'll ask you a question. I've already had that happen, and I just guessed the answer. So you're missing out there. And when we do go into this option, we can actually have our Tam talk to us. And it's something I'd love to enjoy, but again, with the language barrier, I don't speak Japanese, and I know a lot of us that collect and play these devices don't. That's just something to keep in mind, is that there are going to be elements or questions or experiences that might be a little bit dampened because you're not understanding what's being said. Next up, so I did mention the rechargeable battery already and how it's an aspect I'm enjoying, but on the flip side, something I'm not enjoying is the fact that this device cannot be turned off. There is no off function for it whatsoever, so it seems when you are done playing with this Tamagotchi, you simply have to put it away and let the battery die or put it away with the battery dead. I'm not sure how good that'll be for it in the long run, so something worth mentioning. And last is games. So let's go take a look at the games that we have here. And no, I don't count this as going out. Okay, I mean, I guess technically. And these are, I guess, not games, but it's you going to work, even though the small card game doesn't quite align with the work theory. I don't know what job you just look left or right, but maybe a crossing guard? I feel like there's more to it than that. You know what I mean? Okay, so the first game here is from the small card. It's what I was just talking about. And it is an older game where you just guess left or right. So this is from, I believe, the P1 Tamagotchi, maybe P2. And yeah, that's the 1996 version. So let's get into the base games on the device. If you don't have a small card installed or you never plan on getting one, this will be your experience. So let's pretend this isn't here because that is the small card game. Oh yeah, you can't skip animations. You can skip text. So here is the first game on the device. This one is essentially a memory game. You're going to recreate the drink with 4 ingredients. And something I do like is that you get 300 coins from doing, or sorry, 300 Tama points from a perfect game.
Try again.
So that is one of the 4 games. And unfortunately, when you make a mistake scrolling in the game section, you just have to play the game. So I'll be back. I'm back. Third game. Or sorry, second game. Alright, so this is the second game. And we just want to shake the device for this game. That's it. Do you hear the sound design though? It's so good. I don't know if I did well. Maybe not. Okay, I did all right. Not the best. Okay, so now we can play the third game. And this one's a little tougher, so wish me luck. So you're just tapping, trying to avoid hitting anything so you can get this delivery there. And on to the last game. Oh my god. Okay, so I know I said the touchscreen was a good feature, and it is, but it could definitely be improved. Oh my god. Okay, and the last game is grooming. So again, we are shaking the device. And that is all of the games. So, if you're keeping count of the 4 base games, 2 of them are simply shaking the device. And I just don't have great things to say about that, so... And the other 2 games, they're okay. So, small cards well, not all of them, but I think they will have games, so that's something to look forward to. All right, and with that, we are at the conclusion of the video. All in all, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give this Tamagotchi a 3 out of 5. It's just above a fail, so that's good. They don't have to get their parents to sign it, it's fine, but this is just a really lackluster Tamagotchi that doesn't have a lot to offer, with quite a few quality control issues, and just, it's very bare bones, and maybe that's because of the size, maybe that's to sell us more in the end, but I feel like the For You and the IDs and the Tamagotchi Ps, they had add-ons, but the base content was still great. This I can't quite say that about. So that's my review. It's got some adorable characters on it. It has great sound design, some innovative features like the touch screen and the rechargeable battery, which I don't know if I've mentioned lasts about 2 days, so could be better, could be worse. With all of that in mind, it's absolutely not my favorite Tamagotchi, and I'll be playing a lot with the pics. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Bye.